And now look at that new growth has grown in, and look what a nice plant that is. We've got the reds of the new growth, we've got the beautiful flowers there, and it's really doing a nice job. Hi, I'm John Holden of Land Designs Unlimited, and today we're in Oxford to look at a landscape we installed about 6 years ago. Now this site had some very unique challenges. It was new construction, the dirt was very stony and rocky, and further, the landscape pretty much fell off the right side of the house. So why don't we take a few minutes and I'll show you some more of the difficulties of this site and how we managed to overcome them and make the house as beautiful as it is today. Look at this house from the road. The first thing I want to point out is how level the yard is on the left-hand side. However, as we pan to the right, you'll notice the grade starts to drop. Now initially, the grade dropped all the way to the driveway. However, I'll show you where we built a 4-foot retaining wall to hold back that grade and make the house fit in better with the landscape. Because of the issues with the grade, the homeowner decided they really didn't need a front walkway, for they would usually walk into their house from the garage. However, they did want a front walkway to give them something as a focal point when you came to the house. So what we decided to do to solve that issue was to design this beautiful paver walkway with a nice fishtail at the end that's again warm, inviting, and really welcomes you to the house. The walkway is also designed with a slight curve to add interest to the landscape. And finally, as you come up the front walkway, you get to the front porch. Now the front porch is actually oversized because of the scale of this house. It's a colonial. Because of the scale of the house, we intentionally designed the front porch to be bigger so that you weren't standing on a very small porch and you felt like the house was overpowering. We're now standing on the right side of the landscape, and as we pan down, we can see that there's actually two. There's one right there, and there's another one right there. Small retaining walls that break the grade up as it comes down the hill. Finally, at the bottom of the hill, if we keep panning over, you're going to see that there is a retaining wall holding the grade back. Now as we come to the other side of this retaining wall, you'll see how great the grade change truly is. Now between the two walls in front of the house and this big wall in the back, we've managed to raise the grade and not make it look like the whole landscape is falling off the house. In addition to the walls, I installed 2 flowering dogwood trees right here to keep your eye from going past the house. They'll help to frame the house when you look at it from the front. In 2 weeks, these dogwood trees are going to be covered with a light pink flower, which will really do a nice job adding interest to the landscape. Now below these 2 dogwoods, if we look down, you'll see that there's actually a drain here. Because what happens is by the time we install the wall at the back of the landscape and the 2 walls in the front, we were basically funneling all the water to one spot. So this drain was installed to catch all that water and bring it under the driveway. It's about 3 weeks since I shot the last segment, and I just want to take a few minutes to show you how dynamic the landscape is. It's always changing, there's always different things going on. Here you can see the ornamental grasses have grown in a little bit more. They're starting to get their character and add a little bit of texture to the landscape. As we move to the right, I didn't talk about these shrubs in the last clip, but this shrub right here is called potentilla, and this is going to be covered in yellow flowers in another 2 to 3 weeks. Right now it's late May, so by mid-June, late June, you're going to have some nice yellow flowers coming on your potentilla. Now here is our coral bells, and the coral bells are starting to get their flowers. Again, they're not really grown for these flowers, but they do add a little extra something in the landscape, and the coral bells do a really nice job adding that color. Now our dogwoods, as I step back a bit here, our dogwoods are in full bloom. The landscape has a completely different feel now with these dogwoods in bloom. They're a beautiful eye catcher, and they're really doing a nice job of adding something to this landscape. Now as we keep moving to the right, you'll see we've got our rhododendron, small leaf rhododendron, doing a nice job anchoring. And now here is a plant called Katonah Aster. It's Katonah Aster apiculata. It's got these very small flowers on it, and then in the fall it's going to have red berries about the size of a marble. All these flowers will be red berries, and that'll give you something very nice to look at come like September, October in the landscape. Let's go up a little bit farther, and I want to show you this Leucothoe. This is rainbow Leucothoe. I had showed you the new growth emerging on this one last segment, and now look at that new growth has grown in, and look what a nice plant that is. We've got the reds of the new growth, we've got the beautiful flowers there, and it's really doing a nice job adding some interest to the landscape and giving you something different. The landscape now looks not completely different, but it definitely looks different than it did 3 weeks before. Now our homeowner got a chance to go out and purchase some beautiful annuals, so let me step back a little bit here. And first we'll go all the way down the walkway. And we'll show you the view of the house. Beautiful sunny day today. There's a view of the house from the road and the walkway. The front door is framed with those beautiful Dragon Lady holly. And then as we come in, we can see that she planted some beautiful annuals here, which are doing a very nice job of brightening up the landscape. And the annuals that were chosen are all very drought tolerant annuals, which should require minimum maintenance through the year. And then as we come up to the front door, we can see that either side of the front door has a beautiful pot of annuals there. There's a little bit of a yellow foliage. I think that's sweet potato vine. I do apologize, annuals is not my strong point. We got some petunias here, a little bit of dracaena, some begonia, some really nice plants that are going to add interest, and as the summer progresses that pot is just going to turn into a mass of different colors, different textures, really do a nice job. And then there's a nice watering can in the corner there. You can never go wrong adding a little garden ornamentation there to add interest. So then we continue along the left side of the house, and we can see again some more Leucothoe. It's really doing a nice job. You don't see a plant like that very often, so it really does do a nice job of kind of catching your eye as you're moving through the landscape. A little bit more of the Choral Bells, and then finally we're back at the cherry tree on the corner. Thank you for taking a few moments today to view this landscape. If I can offer any assistance in the future, please visit our website at landdesigns.com